We're up to part 2 of our conversation with Joe Bouchard, formerly of Blue Oyster Cult. Joe was there for the big album, Secret Treaties. In 74, Agents of Fortune. 1976, Don't Fear the Reaper. Spectres the following year. And remember, Fire of Unknown Origin. With Burnin' For You, Joe was with Blue Oyster Cult from 1970 to 1986. He has a brand new album. There are links in the description where you can pick it up. By the way, 1976, what happened to you guys in 76? And you guys had success before, but I mean, this was like, how does that change? How did that change you with Agents of Fortune? How did that change the band? What?
Well, there was sort of, I don't know. Let's see. The guys, when I joined the band, they were pretty stubborn about their aesthetic. That they didn't want to do cheap pop music. They always wanted to do something that was a little, why is that?
I've never heard it said that way before.
Why is that? Well, it's just because we like it, and we were, but you do get pressure when something explodes like Don't Fear the Reaper, And Donald said, I'm not gonna write Reaper Part 2, put that out, So, but there was definitely pressure that, we did do some sort of commercial type records, but we wanted to keep that same aesthetic going, maybe, it was, yeah. And I think it was worth it for us to do that, at least in as much as we could, But we had a lot of recordings that we had to do. It was like a new recording every year. So,
were you able to breathe? I mean, you're all of a sudden, you've got the Spectres comes out after.
We could pay our bills. We could pay our bills for the first time.
See, people don't understand. People don't understand that. They don't understand that in the formative years for a lot of their favorite rock bands. Even after the records are out, people don't understand. They just like the music. They think you're all, driving Porsche 911s.
Right.
Which sometimes is the case, but.
No, that was the Rush guys. See, they only had a 3-way split, so they got to drive the nice sports cars. I was still driving a Toyota.
The fact that a lot of you guys sang what made a real difference to me. I know some people just like the album on the wall there, Brad Delp, for Boston. They want just one guy in that layered vocal.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted spice. Give me stuff.
Well, we come from the Beatles generation, and they managed to have 4 amazing vocalists. Yeah, I've been listening to the Beatles channel on one of those satellite things, and it's amazing. It's just amazing,
You ever meet one of them?
No. I've tried. I've met Mick Jagger. I've met cool. Roger Waters. I've met Pete Townsend. And they're those are probably the most famous people I know. When my friend Ian Hunter was playing with Ringo's All-Star Band, I went to see Ian perform a couple of shows with Ringo, and he said, I'll try to get you to meet Ringo. Never happened. It was New York. It was out on Long Island. It just wasn't going to happen. It was, So that's okay. I've got to see Ringo play quite a few times, and I'm still waiting for his call.
Sending it up to the ether.
Every interview I mention this. Ringo, give me a call. I'll call you back. See, Ian didn't want to do it.
What would you tell Ringo Starr? What would you?
I'd say, when do we start? What songs do I need to know? I played with Ringo's musical director for many years. A good friend of ours.
I know. I have
saxophone player. saxophone player. He's on one of our albums. We gave him a job. Mark Rivera. We gave him a job on the. Let's see. It was the. Okay, now I'm the Cultosaurus Erectus album, and he had his band that he was playing in had broken up at the time. But my brother Albert's always the instigator about these things. Called him up, said, "Mark, can you play on our album?" And he really needed that gig. I mean, he was kind of like depressed about it. Then of course he goes on. He takes over the saxophone for Billy Joel, and then Ringo hires him for 15 years in a row. I don't know if he's doing it now, but I know Mark pretty well. So
in the golden age, of course, you've got a couple of tracks that look back and Up All Night, Sleep All Day. Tell me about that too.
Well, yeah, that's another. Well, it's kind of a strange story about this song. I had this music, and I got scammed. I'll tell you the whole story. I got scammed. I got a email from my manager. The manager says, "This looks interesting. How would you like to play in Hong Kong?" And it's a charity event. And so I discussed it back and forth with my manager, and so yeah, throw out a figure, and and I'll need expenses. And I was trying to, why would anybody call me to do a charity event in Hong Kong? So, but I was thinking, wait a minute, I had some students when I was teaching in a private school, and they were from Hong Kong, and very wealthy families. So I thought maybe one of my students, and I got suckered into this thing. It was, it's like one of those Nigerian prince things. So we sent emails back and forth, and then it started getting weird. They started offering me more money than I had asked for. I think I asked for $10,000, in first class flights, reasonable, But then they wanted to give me more money. And then they wanted me to bring a whole band with me, So the bill was, and they showed me pictures of the hotel I'd be staying in. They had names of all the people. The charity thing had been booked at a fancy, fancy hotel in Hong Kong. So I'm getting ready, and I say, I'm going to write a theme for this charity event. And it was going to be, and I talked to Mickey Curry, and I said, what's it like to play in Hong Kong, And he said, yeah, I played there a couple of times with Bryan Adams, it's really fantastic, I'm thinking, oh, wow, I'm getting more and more excited. So I write this song, and it was called Flying into Hong Kong, in the golden age. So then I start saying, hey, it just doesn't smell right. It just doesn't smell right. So I do a search. Scam. Hong Kong scam. I find that there's at least a half a dozen other people got the same scam. And what it is, it's what they do is they send you a deposit, and you have a window of 3 days before the deposit will actually clear. So it looks like it's in your account. In the meantime, they make up this cockamamie story about, you got to send a deposit back right away because, people are dying of COVID or whatever, you got to send the money. So I found out that one of the singers from, I don't know, like American Idol or one of those big shows, got that same scam. And then there was another guy who got a scam that was like a speaker who does promotional events. And he got scammed at a similar kind of thing in Tokyo. And, And I think the singer actually lost some money somehow, you know. But I was like, oh my God, this is what I should have done first, was to Google, is there any Hong Kong scams out there? So anyway, to make the best of it, I just decided that it was going to be changed to a new song, and came up with "In the Golden Age." I was thinking about, it's kind of a up tempo song, fun. Excuse me. But
Got a good song out of it.
got a great song out of it, I think.
Yeah.
And I got my friend John Jorgensen. Well, Albert says to me, I like this and I like this, but that song needs a real hot guitar part. Why don't you get your friend John Jorgensen to play on the track? And so I sent John. John, I don't know if you know John. He played with Elton John for 6 years.
I know of him. Yeah.
Yeah. And he plays with Chris Hillman. He did Chris Hillman's last album that was produced in Tom Petty's studio. He's played with the Byrds. He had a band called the Hellcasters, which was this hot Nashville group that put out like 3 or 4 instrumental albums that were really tremendous. And I got to go to Iraq with John in 2010 when I went on this USO style tour in Iraq. So I got to know John pretty well, and he played with the Desert Rose Band with Chris Hillman.
Jeez.
Anyway, so he came up with a fantastic guitar solo, and he does this sort of fast, almost country type picking thing at the end of the song. So that was definitely well worth it for John to do that. And then you get this Ace mixer to mix it. And
hope you enjoyed our conversation with Joe Bouchard. It's the second time we've ever talked to him, and he's always a pleasure to talk to. Links to the new album in the description of this video. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. And the 2 P's of how you can help us out: Patreon. You can join our Patreon and get access to our videos sometimes over a month and a half early, or you can make a donation on PayPal. All the links are in the description. More from Joe Bouchard coming up in the next 2-3 days. This is Rock History Music.